Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Real Beef. I'm your host, Don Keith. Today, I have a guest with us, Shoaib Sohail. He is an immigrant from Pakistan. He's a Pakistani immigrant turned truth seeker. I know this guy. He's a great guy. Met him at some of Tommy Robinson's demonstrations, the United Kingdom demonstrations. He's definitely a patriot, and he loves the United Kingdom. And now he is in danger of being deported for his views. So I'm going to bring him to the stage and let him tell you guys his story.
Hello, hi.
Shoaib.
Hey, man. How you doing? Thank you very much for having me. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're quite welcome, man. Thank you for coming on. It's great to have you. The reason you're here, I want to just get right to this because it's very concerning to me. I saw your post yesterday that you were in danger of being deported within the next 30 days. Tell me a little bit about, and tell the audience why you're going to be deported.
So, being a legal citizen in the UK, you're required to basically get an extension on your visa every 2.5 or 2 years. So my 2.5 years come to an end in August. So when it comes to an end in August 2025, this year, which is in 2 months' time, you need to apply for it for an extension 30 days to 28 to 30 days before your visa expires. So my extension will be coming up in next month around this time in July. So 17 or 18 of July, where I would need to apply for my visa extension. And the reason why I said I might be getting deported is because I'll be removed if I don't apply for a visa extension. And to apply for the visa extension, you need almost 4,680 pounds to get the extension of your visa. For that, because I'm a legal citizen, you have to show us certain things. One of them things are that you can support yourself. By supporting yourself means you have enough funds in your bank account, or you have a good job that pays you enough that you can look after yourself. So I've been here since 2018, and I've always have had a job, never had any issues. But unfortunately, when very first time I saw you in 2024 in October, Tommy Robinson, United Kingdom March, that's when I lost my job, because I obviously met you. You're an amazing guy, and I met some of the very good patriots. No problem at all. Yeah, and I met some of the other patriots who are white people that I met. So. The background that I come from, the culture and the religion and everything else that I come from, are Pakistani. We are told from everybody, regardless of they're in the UK or they're in Pakistan, they're in Saudi Arabia, I've always been told that, these white people, they're the racists. Oh my God, they're racist, they're this, they're that. And I'm not going to lie, I was naive enough in the beginning, and I did believe it. I said, yeah, you know what? Everybody's telling me, the mainstream media is telling me that these white people looking guys, they have to be racist. So I believed that for a couple of months, but then there were a lot of kindness that was shown to me by the white people when I came to the UK. And I was looking at that and I'm like, okay, hang on. People have said to me that these people hate somebody who looks like me, who talks like me. But here these people are helping me in a way that I cannot even imagine my own brother to help me in ways that these white people, the so-called racists, are helping me. Mm-hmm. What is this about? And that's when I started looking into different things. So then I picked up a habit after that every time I was told by a Pakistani guy or a Muslim guy or this ethnic minorities, or the white people are racist, I'll tell them, oh, hang on.
I lost
somebody. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the thing was, and I picked up this habit where if any Pakistani or any ethnic minority or even a Muslim is telling you, the white people are racist, I will ask them the question: have you been, have somebody been racist to you? Have the white people been racist to you? And they'll be like, yeah, that white person called me this, called me that. And I said, oh, what did you do? Rather than saying, yeah, you know what, you're right, but let me hear your side of the story. What did you do? And then they will tell you what they do. Oh, I was on my phone in a bus and I was really loud. And I say, you know what, if I was there, I probably would have said something worse to you than the white people said, because that white person was actually really kind to you. I wouldn't be. I would have slapped you because I'm in the bus. That's a public place. Man,
you're a white boogeyman.
Yeah. So, these things happen. And I thought, what will be the best opportunity for me to actually test this test? But in my heart, I always knew that white people are not racist, to turn up to an event which has been labeled as far-right thugs event. Oh my God. Yeah. When I heard that, I told, you know what, I'm very close to my father. I love my father a lot. So I called my father who's in Saudi Arabia. And I said to my dad, I said, Dad, you know what? I'm going to go to this guy called Tommy Robinson. I'm going to go to his march and I'm going to meet the people there. And I'm going to see it for myself how racist these people are. My dad was fine with it, but he had a friend with him who's a Pakistani guy again. You know, that guy, his victim mentality kicked in, and he said to my dad, "Oh, all these white people, they're probably going to butcher your kid if he goes there. Oh, he's not going to save. No way." So, these are the things I've been told, and I
Oh
was
my
listening
gosh.
to it. So when I said to my dad, I'm just going to go and I'm going to check it out. My dad just said to me, "Look, be safe. I know these people are nice. These people are kind. Obviously, I don't live in the UK. You do, but I know people who are genuinely living in the UK. They tell me nice things about them. So, you know, you can go and have a look for yourself." And I did.
Mhm.
And my crime was that when I came there, I was shown so much love from people like you, Don. You know what? You're a busy guy. I was watching you. You're busy here, busy there. Everybody's dragging you. Can we take a picture? Can we do an interview? Even within all those things that was happening, you had the time to come to me, and not only just came to me and say hello to me, man. You were there. You were talking to me. You know, you could have just said, "Oh, okay, yeah, hello," like everybody else. You could have gone, but you didn't. You gave me the time of the day, and for me, there was again an impact that I got in my head, and I said, "You know what? When I go out, I'm going to report this on my Twitter to say, you know, there were people there. They are Tommy's close friends. And these people have, like I said, have shown me nothing but kindness." So my crime was I observed everything. I wasn't attacked. If anything, I was more than welcomed by everybody. And when I went back, when I came back to my home and I sat down and I wrote this post saying that, "Oh, you know what, Tommy Robinson is not a racist. These people are not far-right thugs. For me, what I have seen, these are patriots who are concerned for their country, who are concerned for their little girls, obviously white girls. You know, we know what's happening with the Pakistani community, the Pakistani rapists. That is, that's what they're doing these days." So I said they are as concerned as if I've got children, I'll be concerned the same. So if you want to call them the racist, if you want to call the white people the racist, you want to call them the far right, guess what? I am one of them. So you can call me a racist too. And they exactly did that. They did call me a racist, and they sent the police after me, and I lost my job literally a couple of days after that post. I was given a fair chance by I used to work for the council. So the Swansea Council gave me a fair chance. They set
This is
down,
Swansea. This is Swansea. This is a town in Wales, correct?
in Wales, yeah. So in Swansea, so the Swansea Council, they sat me down on a Friday morning at 9 a.m. They told me it's a general chit chat like friends, but when I turn up, there was somebody present there, but they were not part of the HR. There was no HR present. It was two, one of my boss and another one, a line manager, a team leader was there, and all they said to me, this is all they said to me: "If you can delete your ex post that you did about Tommy Robinson, and if you can delete your YouTube channel, you get your job back, come back in and work. But if you don't do that, we have to take the next step." And I kept asking them, "What is the next step?"
What was your job?
So I was in the HR payroll, basically. It was a very good job. It was a very comfy job, amazing job.
What company is this?
Swansea Council. I was working directly for the
This is the council job. Okay.
Yeah, it was the council job. So I was working for the council, and they said to me that we won't have somebody that do these things. And I didn't understand what these things meant, because nobody till today will be able to tell me what are these things that they were complaining about. So they said to me, "If you can delete it, that's fine. You will get your job back." And me being a legal citizen, I don't get any benefits. For me, if I work, I earn money, and that money that I can use then to buy things, to pay my bills, pay my rent. If I don't have a job, I can't do none of that. So I was thinking about that. I sat there and I was thinking about it. I had a lot of people who worked with me. All of them are white people who work for the Swansea Council. Some of them came to me and they said to me, "Look, just take down your ex post. You know, it's not worth it. You're just one guy. You're not even white. Why do this?" And I said, exactly, that's why I do it, because I'm not white. They can't call me a racist. They can't tell me the things that they're saying about my friends. You know, people like people like yourself, people like Shoaib Sohail, people like Paul Soap, Richard Inman, Tommy Robinson. When they say, "Oh, these people are racist," you guys got no defense, because unfortunately, it is not unfortunate, but it is unfortunate because you are white in today's world, and that is your only crime. You can be the nicest guy on earth, but because you're white, a Muslim will come, a Pakistani will come and go, "Guess what? Oh, white guy and is a racist." And everybody will like, "Oh yeah, you know, if he said it, if this guy said it, Don or everybody else, they have to be a racist." But I said to them then, I said, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. You're working for the Swansea Council for 20 odd days. And your concern shouldn't be my legal views or my political views. It should be helping the people. And that's the reason why I joined. I never had a problem working with people. And now you're telling me that I cannot stand there and say that these white people are not racist. Guess what? Tomorrow, somebody will turn around and call you a racist because you are white. What are you going to do then? They were thinking to themselves, but because they got the orders from the top up and above, they said, "You know what? I'm sorry. We like you as a guy. We know you've done a really amazing job. But unfortunately, if you don't delete your ex or you don't delete your YouTube, we have to let you go. And I remember walking out of that office thinking, well, what am I going to do? And I got a phone call by the time I got to my car. So from the office to the car park, it was literally 1 minute, 30 seconds, something like that. By the time I got to the door, my boss called me and she asked me, what have you decided? And I said to her, you know what, I'm not going to delete anything. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, these people, they deserve some sort of loyalty. These white people that you're calling racist, which is you again are white yourself. But I think they deserve my loyalty and I cannot repay their loyalty by being a coward today. So I'm going to say I'm not going to delete it. On the phone, I got fired. She said to me, oh, can you come to the office, return your badge, return your laptop because we no longer need you. Like I said, HR wasn't even there. So this happened back in October. And since October up until last month, I was using my savings. And this is first time in 10 years in my life that I'm not able to pay my rent. And not only my rent, I couldn't pay my electricity bill and nothing. So obviously I was sitting down the other week and I was just thinking to myself and I thought, you know what, maybe, just maybe I can't be here because I don't want to be homeless, you know, and you get what I mean? Because I'm an educated guy. I've got a lot, my savings have run out. And that's
your background. What's your educational background?
So I did, my bachelor's is in business, political sciences. And then I did my MBA. I'm a master's as well, which is business and administration. That's why I always have a good job. So I'm in finance, I'm in HR, I'm in marketing, and I've done all of these jobs. I used to work for Volkswagen Financial Services. I used to work for Enterprise Rent a Car, HSBC, Lloyds Bank, NHS, which is, you know, the NHS. And now, very recently, I was working for the Swansea Council. So yeah,
sounds like you have a good resume. Are there not any job opportunities? Are you having trouble finding work now since you lost your job at the council?
Yeah, in Swansea, the city where I live. So another problem.
Population of Swansea.
Well, I think population of Swansea is not that much. It's like a village, but it is still like it's enough. There are enough people to know exactly who is who and what is what. But obviously, with me, what has happened? I've been targeted by the Swansea Council. And as I said, the reason why they've targeted me, there are a lot of councillors in Swansea Council who lead the hateful pro-Pally marches. And I have actually screenshotted, I've taken a picture of them while they were out shouting slurs at people just because you don't support something. If straight away they're like, oh yeah, you know, you're complicit because you're not supporting us. That means there are some people who say we live in the UK like myself. I don't want to worry about Gaza and I don't want to worry about Israel. Yes, I do worry about innocent people dying anywhere. Innocent children die anywhere. Children doesn't have a label on them which says what's the race, religion, or culture they are. They are children. So innocent people die anywhere. I don't want to see that. Yes, I will say to that. But when you have these people, the pro-Pallies, the lefties, where they have weaponized someone else's suffering, right? So they can have some sort of their own agenda be pushed out. You know, how they say, oh, you know, support us because we're doing this. If you don't support us, definitely you're a child. They say these things, you're a baby killer, supporters, things like that. So, and you have the councillors do this literally every single week. I see them. I took these pictures and I sent to the council and I said to them, if you're firing me because of my political views, what about these people? I was not even that much. Nobody knew me because I was, like I said, I was in finance. And in finance, you do everything on the computer. You do the payroll, and that's it. Nobody needs to speak to you. And these are actual councillors. They go in and out into meetings. They meet people outside. So I said that to the council as well. So you're telling me if this councillor sees me because he's the head of social services. So if he sees me, I need help with my child. So what, is he not going to come and help me because of my views? Because that's exactly what you're, the thing that you're setting up right now is that. So
you're supposed to live in a country with free speech. Supposedly, it doesn't sound like free speech to me. You're losing your job because you like one political ideology or the other that doesn't jive with what your bosses want you to you know. It's really amazing to me, man. I hear so many stories like this. I just had a stream with another guy who was fired from his job for his political views as well in the UK. So it's really sad what's happening now. What's your shirt say? It says white something.
Oh yeah, it says White History Month.
Oh,
what it is, you know what? I think I don't know if it's like for me. I like to thank the white people because for me, I think UK is and always will be a Christian country. One, and second, for me, whenever I was in Saudi Arabia and people used to talk about America or UK, for me, the first thing that used to come to my head was the white people. Right? I never seen any, Pakistani guys running around and say, no, I'm British. I don't accept that. I know a lot of people say, oh, You can be British, you can be American. And I remember that one of my cousins who was born and raised in the UK, he used to come to Saudi Arabia, and whenever he used to come, he couldn't speak Urdu. All he spoke was English. And we would tell him, oh, why don't you speak Urdu? He would be like, oh, because I'm British. And we used to make fun of him. I said, no, you're brown, you're Pakistan. You can never be British. You're not British. White people are British. You're not. So this is the mentality I grew up with. Because in Saudi Arabia, they tell you as it is. They said, if you're born in Saudi Arabia, it doesn't make you a Pakistani Arab or an Arab. No, you're a Pakistani, you're an Indian, you're this, you're that. And that is it. We don't give these things out as we're handing over candies. And you can see this. Obviously, you're from America. You have a just different perspective. And you can tell that there are, in UK, there are so many people call themselves British, but there is nothing British about them. They're not British. They're absolutely traitors to the country. All they can talk about is what's happening in Pakistan or what's happening here. There are kids dying in UK as well.
A lot of them only claim to be British when the cameras are on them, and they want the same rights as everyone else, and they're
Yes.
British. But other than that, they're waving the flags of wherever their country of origin is. But the truth is, you talked about coming out to one of the demonstrations. The truth is, we appreciate probably even more so when someone of a different ethnicity comes out and breaks through that barrier, breaks through that indoctrination wall to check out what we have to say there, and that's what, I try to spend as much time with everybody as I can, but when someone of a different ethnicity comes out to join us and see what we're all about, I think that says a lot about someone that's willing to break through those ethnic barriers and the indoctrination and everything they've heard, all the bad stuff they've heard, which they call it the far right, but it's really the people who are just the patriots of the country who believe in the freedoms that they're supposed to have that are being taken from them. So the more people who actually do their research and look into it and form their own opinions, I think that the more they will break through those barriers. So yeah, I certainly appreciate it when someone of a different ethnicity comes out. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think the whole point of me doing this, right, for me to seeing it for myself, there are many points that I do it for, but one of the main points, the reason why I do it is because, see, I've always lived in a country where I was always a foreigner. So it's living in Saudi Arabia, you're a foreigner. Living in the UK, you're a foreigner. I am from Pakistan. If I live in Pakistan, which I never have lived there, so I'll be from that country. So I wouldn't really bother. But when I'm living in so many different countries, I lived in Saudi Arabia, I live in Dubai, and now I'm living in the UK. And when I hear these things from the Pakistani community, and I'll start from my own people, because this is what I relate to. When I hear Pakistani mentality and, they come out with waving their racism card, enslaved by the victim mentality, and all I can hear is, oh, the white people are racist, the white people. And I say to them, look, I live in Dubai. When I was in Dubai, I went to see a cricket match. And in that cricket stadium, as I was entering, I see something written on the top of the wall, and it was only written in Urdu. So Urdu is the language of Pakistan.
Right.
In Urdu, not in Arabic, not in Chinese, not in...
one of the largest languages. It's one of the largest languages in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why they put it on top of that stadium as I was going in. And you know what it says? It says no political chanting in the stadium. So they knew it wasn't the Indians, it wasn't the Chinese, it wasn't the Americans or the British. It was the Pakistani people who tend to have that urgency when they're somewhere in between people. They have to act like an idiot. And they like to chant things that they shouldn't be chanting. And that was my point to them. So if you want to call the white people racist, you should call the Arabs the racist as well, because Arabs hate Pakistanis. And I've seen it firsthand that they don't like Pakistanis. They've actually shadow banned Pakistanis. Like if I got a Pakistani passport and I've been trying to see if I can get a job in Dubai or in Saudi Arabia, I've been told straight up, we don't want Pakistanis here because of the drama you cause. So I'm not going to go and blame the Arabs. I go and blame my own people. And I say, look, this is your doing. And now we are suffering. The reason why I do it is because I want to create a society. When I walk in there, they look at me and they say, you know what? Yes, there are Pakistanis who are bad. But then again, why are they bad? It is down to the Pakistanis now to say, you know what, every country we go to, they don't want us. Every people that we have come across, they call us traitors because this is what we've done. So unless you're setting up an example, unless you're looking at yourself, the product that you are to the place that you go to, unless you say, oh, you know what, yes, we need to change so for people can trust us. I have seen a Muslim guy very recently, when I was somewhere in London, and I was with one of my white friends, very close friend of mine, and he was getting up and he was wearing a lot of, he had a jacket on, and it was like really hot. He had a jacket on and he had everything on. Maybe he wasn't doing anything, but my first thinking was, stop the bus, I'm getting off. And I don't want to say why, But that's the perception I had. I seen a guy, all those baggage. I'm like, oh, you know what, Jeff? I'm not ready for this, so I'm gonna. So, you know, I mean, and it was funny for me the way I said it. And my white friend was like, because I was dragging him out of the bus, and he said, we have to go 5 more stops. What are you doing? I said, come out, and I swear I'll tell you. And I was panicking. Got him out, and he said, what's wrong? And I said, do you not see the guy? Do you not see what he's wearing? He had a backpack. And he was like, and you know what? We went for the next bus. I don't even say. But you know, but this is the problem. Is not with the people. Is the perception
That's the
that
perception.
they have created. Why? If you know, I am a product. When I walk anywhere as a Pakistani, I am representing Pakistan. I am an ambassador of my country. If I'm going to act like an idiot, and then people say all Pakistani are the same, how can I blame them? Because it is my fault the way I've been acting. Why is it that these Pakistanis, the ethnic minority, have got such a victim mentality? Every 2 seconds, anybody say anything to them, oh my God, my ancestors, my this, my that. You don't even know who your father is, and you want to cry about your ancestors? Come on, man. Grow up. So yeah, these are the main reasons why I do it. Like I said, I want to tell people, not in my name. Yes, I'm a Pakistani. I'm proud to be the man that I am. Obviously, my father made me that by making sure that I was in line every time I step out of the line. But you know, at the end of the day, I am a Pakistani, and yes, it does affect me. So I have to be out there, and I have to say, not in my name. I haven't seen any other Pakistanis doing it. I'm the only one, to be honest.
Have you, you said you hadn't been able to find work since you lost your job at the council. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And now do your political views have anything to do with the fact that you're unable to find employment?
Yeah, because Swansea, as I said, is a small city, and I was applying through jobs to big companies, and I then applied for a job through an agency, and I had somebody working in that agency, and he then called me and he said to me, look, you have been blacklisted in Swansea, so I would tell you either you start finding jobs in London or somewhere else, because you know you have to either move or do work from home jobs, because none of the big companies here, because of you've been labeled a racist, nobody's going to give you a job. And on top of that, a lot of the companies that these Muslims know that I might go to, they have told them already, like my gym, for instance, the gym that I go to, obviously I got really good friends in there, but these people turn up to do a protest outside the gym, telling them you got a racist in there, you need to kick him out. You know, and this is the type of thing that they do. Obviously, police is nowhere to be seen, because every time I've called the police, they've said, yeah, they have the right to do it. So yeah, the reason why I'm not getting a job within Swansea is because I've been labeled a racist. And, you know, they have labeled it throughout the city, and nobody wants to deal with me anymore at all.
Yeah. You know, you sent me a short clip. I want to play this, but I think it's very important, especially given this week the announcement by Keir Starmer that we're going to do the National Rape Gang Inquiry. And I just want to play folks to get them to understand. This is the kind of thing Tommy Robinson's been talking about all along, how they've been basically protecting the Pakistani grooming gang perpetrators all along, acting as if they don't know. But one of these gentlemen specifically, the question he asked you just floors me, but I'm going to play it for you. We'll come back and talk about it, okay?
It's beyond extreme, I tell you that. So what's your political opinion stand? So my political opinion stand with everything that's going on. I think if there are criminals, they need to be called out as criminals. So like, you know, I don't know, a lot of people will agree or disagree with this, but I know there is a problem with the Pakistani rape grooming gangs, and it is a fact. And me as a Pakistani, I say yes, it is true. If anybody says otherwise, or you can't, it's not. They're not saying that all Pakistanis are rapists, but they are saying that the majority of them in these cities, in these cases, are Pakistani. So yeah, for me, my political opinion is, if these are the Pakistani rapist gangs, we should say as it is. Because when you say Asian raping gangs...
Well, where's your proof for that?
The proof is plenty. There's plenty of proof.
Where is the proof for it?
So whenever I post
something... Very careful doing things like that.
No, I know. But there is plenty of proof.
Evidential proof behind it.
There's plenty.
Grooming gangs across the country.
No, there is. Like I said, okay, and I'll tell you this.
Right?
All right.
Right? I'll make grooming gangs.
Yes.
Will be found to be untrue.
Okay, that's great.
So get the facts straight.
No, so I'll say this. When I say about Pakistani grooming gangs, yes, you're right. There are whites, there are Sikhs, there are Indians. But the reason why I speak about Pakistani Muslim grooming rapist gangs is because I am a Pakistani. And I'll tell you why. So it's different, obviously, because you know Pakistan. You understand. For me, I understand the fact. If I sit down quietly and say, look, I'm not doing it, None of my uncles and aunties are doing it. None of my brothers and sisters are doing it. My father is not doing it. Why do I care? If they want to say age India, let them say it. The only reason why I come out and say, yes, it is a problem with the Pakistani community, because I, as Pakistani, I know there is a problem, and we don't only have a problem in the UK, we have a problem in Saudi Arabia, that's where I live. We have a problem in Pakistan, that is where my grandparents are from. So, and they still live there. So for me, yes, I need to come out and condemn people from my own community. That's what they say. You need to clean your house first before you go clean someone else's house. I can't be on the street saying, oh, there's a white grooming gang, or there's an Indian grooming gang. People will say, oh, what about your own grooming gang? But if I'm condemning them first, and then I'm moving on to others, yes, of course, but I need to condemn from my own people. The same way, if you come here and tell me, oh no, Pakistan is so good, Pakistan is it, and I will ask you, have you ever lived in Pakistan? You're like, no. But yeah, so of course your knowledge is very less than mine. And the same way, I wouldn't tell you about the British culture. I'm not British. But I can't sit there and tell the British people, oh, you know what?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting to me that you told the guy about the Pakistani grooming gangs, and he's like, where's your proof? Where's your proof? I mean,
I am Pakistani. I am the proof. I am telling you, I've seen it.
Well, it's not only that, it's the fact that he knows, okay? He's in law enforcement. He knows damn well about the packet, and he's asking you for the proof. We just had the Prime Minister of Great Britain this week announce an inquiry into the grooming gangs, pretty much vindicating everything Tommy Robinson has ever said.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But this guy, and that's, Tommy's always said they've tried to cover it up all these years. They've hidden evidence. They've participated. But this is just a prime example in real time of folks actually seeing a video of one of these guys coming at you going, where's your proof of these grooming gangs? And he knows they exist.
And I think the worst thing is, Don, I was when I was looking at this video, and obviously this is the first time I've actually analyzed that video, watching it with you, because it was being recorded and I know what I've said. And I was like, yeah, I just release it everywhere on my YouTube. Everybody, you've seen it. But today watching it, I could see that guy, the bald guy, he just going like this and like this, because he thought I'll be probably one of those guys who like to talk the talk and have no facts. But because I had facts, because I sat him down and I told him exactly how it was, you could see he was holding his hand. He was like, oh, you know what, maybe we've come to the wrong house. Maybe we shouldn't be in the first place. Because I did say to him that I'm going to record you. I said to him from the start that, you know what, you are being recorded. And they were like, are we going to record you too? And I said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And I might release it to my YouTube. And the worst thing is, when all this thing happened, they were there for 50 minutes. They couldn't make me change my mind, because as they were leaving, I was letting them know I support Tommy Robinson, because I don't think he's a racist. He's not. I have seen him and I've met him. I've spoken to the guy. I don't think he's a racist at all. And when they left on a Friday, and literally the next day on Sunday, early morning, I was arrested. They arrested me. And you know why they arrested me? Because they knew they couldn't shut me up, because they did that and they left thinking to themselves, and they were like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we need to get him arrested because he is.
The actual charge. What was the actual charge that you got arrested for?
Okay. So that one I can't discuss, but I'll tell you a little bit. It is.
You can't even know why you were arrested?
Yeah, I can tell you, for being racist towards the Muslim community. For being racist towards the Muslim community, yes.
Oh my God. Now, all right, what is your religion? Do you profess a religion at all?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim myself. Yeah. Exactly. No,
man, God, it just does not get any more bizarre than this. You're being arrested for being racist towards Muslims, and you are a Muslim.
Yeah, and I'm probably more Muslim than the people here. You know why? Because I was brought up in a Muslim country, Saudi Arabia, the most strict country there is. You know what I mean? Like, I know every single thing that these probably people don't even know, but they just, that. And I think that's the reason why they hate me, because they have told me about the religion and they said, oh, we're doing this. But for me, I always keep my religion between me and my God. I don't care whoever's practicing what religion and, whoever's doing what. Like, it doesn't concern me. It doesn't bother me. I don't even go out telling people, like, see, you didn't even know that I was a Muslim, because I don't go out and say, oh, a lot of these people,
not
the left.
You stay with you, no.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Because it just goes to prove the point, that's the whole reason they call people racist, is to keep people from listening to you. They've done it. That's why they've done it to Tommy for 17 years. That's why they're doing it you now. They want to take your power away. And they know that racism is one of the most powerful words in the English language, right? You paint somebody with that word, it's like the scarlet letter. Nobody will listen to you. Nobody. But the problem they have now is that they don't own the media anymore. We do.
Yeah.
We have the independent media. We have social media. We have X. So all that misinformation that really came from their side for all these years, we're starting to see it was a lie this whole time. Now, many of us knew what was going on, but other folks are just now like, I can't tell you how many DMs I get from people who say, you know, just in the last year, since I started watching you, or since I started watching Tommy, I've started to come around. I realized everything they said about him was a lie. Everything they said about the people on the right was a lie. So in this age of social media, they're losing control, and they really don't know what to do. They don't know what to do about it, and it's driving them absolutely bonkers. So they came to your house and arrested you, a Muslim, because you're being racist towards other Muslims. In fact, Islam is a religion; it's not a race. So that's kind of
exactly.
So
yeah. No, they also took my cell phone. They also took my mobile phone. So they still got it. And I was arrested in January. And since they have had my phone, they couldn't find anything on it, right? And since last couple of weeks, well, no, since last month, I've been getting a call from the police officer every other day. He will, whenever he's bored, he's free, he'll give me a call, and all he will say to me, can we get the password to your X account? And I say to him, my X account is public. You can see whatever you want. Nothing is protected. Whatever you want to see, you can see. Why do you need my password for it?
He wants to use the DMs so you can get all your contacts.
Exactly. Oh, but the thing is, other than some fake Japanese girls DMing me, there's nothing else in there. I don't know what they're looking for. But yeah, so yeah, you know,
I thought the Japanese girls only liked me. I thought
they like anybody. So yeah, so that's the DMs I got. But I didn't spoke to the police officer, and I said to him, look, because see, I have always been very pro-police, because the country that I come from and the culture that I'm from, like the Pakistani police is the most corrupt police, and you can't trust them. So when I look at the British police force, I do a comparison between them and the Pakistani police force. So in that comparison, the British police force up here and the Pakistani are down there somewhere, because they're corrupt, they're everything. So I always respected the police, and I did. You know, I'm very pro-police. I never disrespect the police. And but when they arrested me and every other thing that was going on, so I thought I'll still try and help them in the investigation as much as I can. So I asked him, why would you need my X account, and what it is you would do if you get my X password? So am I allowed to use it? He said, no, you cannot use it. And I said, how long will that be for? He said, it can be anywhere between 3 months to 6 months to 9 months. So I said, so you're telling me the whole time you'll have my X account, I have no access to it. They were like, yeah, we'll change your password. And I said, why are you doing this? Like, if I was a terrorist or something, I get it. You want to know everything. But are you doing this because you don't like the fact that there are actually a lot of people listening to what I have to say, and they're agreeing to it? And somehow that is, that is making the Muslim community upset somehow. And now they're sending you after me because you couldn't find it in the phone, right? You have my phone for 4 months, and now you're on my X account because you are fishing for something, so you can just pin it on me and be like, oh yeah, he liked that person's account, he is following that, and that person is following back. Yeah, you have to be that, you have to be this, we have to take. I said, I'm not going to give you my account. You can do whatever you want to do. And they've been really silent, because I record all of their calls, and I've told them that I'm recording your calls because I know you guys like to play dirty. And guess what? I'm gonna do the same.
Talk about tyranny, man. They wanted your X password, then we're going to change the password, probably never give you the account back. You'd probably never have access to your own X account, because these tyrants want to get into and manipulate all your data and snoop and see who all your contacts are. It's really, man, it's really like communism. It really is.
Yeah,
it really is. It's like something you would see in China. It's unbelievable to me that they're operating this way. Let me ask you this. In that same conversation, when the prevention came to your house, you talked about that you had been a victim of some sexual abuse too as a child. Doesn't sound like it was anything too extreme just from your description there, but it was definitely some abuse. Could you describe the type of abuse that you described to prevention and what that was like for you?
Okay, so it was basically, they were telling me, I did a post a couple of weeks before that Prevent visited me, and my post was, if I was up to me, I will ban all the Islamic religious school in the UK, because UK is a Christian country and I don't want any Islamic religious school. So they said to me, that is racist. Why would you say that? And I said to him, have you ever been to an Islamic religious school? He said, no, I didn't. I said, exactly. So don't ask me that, because I've been to that school. And I've been there from the age of 11 till the age of 16, where I did not know what was sex or anything like that, because we weren't told these things as we were growing up. because
You don't have sex education in Saudi Arabia.
No, no education. So you don't know what's happening to you. So from the age of 11 till the age of 16, I went to a religious Islamic school, which was run by the Bengalis, Pakistanis, and the Afghanis. And these were the teachers as well. And what they would do, they would sexually harass me, like, touch me inappropriately, make them sit and make me sit on themselves. And because I was 11, I did not know what's going on. For me, it was this. And the thing was, and they do this to me 5 days a week.
They would have you sit on their laps to get them aroused, basically.
Yeah, they will sit me on the lap, and once they're aroused, then they will make me sit. And like, no, we are still wearing clothes. There's no penetration, but then they will make me sit on them and move.
Yeah, I want to apologize. I said it doesn't sound too extreme.
No.
I didn't mean that it wasn't extreme, but I'm not in your situation, so I don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Callous. What I meant was there was no penetration.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. So, but that's what they would do, and what they would do every day, and this happened to me five days a week for 4 years, and it was non-stop. And I wasn't the only one. There were many of us there. So what they would do, just before we were going to go home, they used to beat the heck out. They used to beat me so much. I still got marks on my legs. These are permanent marks. And you can see in that video, I actually showed my marks to the police officer, and I said to him, "What do you think about these marks? I am 38 years old today, and I'm talking about when I was 11 up until 16. I still got these marks, which literally shows me what has happened to me. So you're telling me that my anger of saying that, I don't want no religious school because what has happened to me, I don't want anything happening to any other kid. You're telling me that is okay. So you're basically telling me what these people, now this is the main thing now. What they have said to me, they have said to the million and thousand of these white girls when they came out and they said a Pakistani Muslim rapist have raped us, and they said, "Oh, don't you dare say that because you are being racist." That's exactly what they said to me. I was telling him, "You're telling me to shut up because you think it's a racist thing, but you're not worrying about the fact that I was the one who was sexually harassed, not you, not no one else. So when I say this, you're telling me to be quiet because you think it's racist. You did the same thing to the white girls. So how the hell can you sit there and tell me about this while you know what you people have exactly done to your own people?" So I said, I told him, "You should be silenced in this matter because you got no knowledge, no information. I am literally a living proof of what goes on in there and what has actually happened to me. And I know a lot of my friends, obviously, some of them have passed away. Some of them is, still I speak to them. Their lives have been destroyed by these things, because, it plays with your mind so much. I don't have anxiety or anything like that. I believe to be a very strong human being, a very strong individual. But there are times when I sit down sometime, and if I'm, talking to some of my close friends, if they've seen the marks and they said, "Oh, what's that? Did you got hurt?" And when I'm telling them what it is, I sometimes cannot control myself. And then they expect some girl who've been, the white British girls who have been raped constantly, non-stop, not by one, not by two, by friends of friends, by families of families. And then when they go to the police, and what the police do? "Oh, you better not be racist." They can't say it because he said that to me. "Oh, that is racist." And I looked at him and I said, "What the hell are you calling me a racist for? Are you being dumb? Because I am telling you, I am from that place. And if it was up to me," I said today as well, "if it was up to me, I will shut all of these Islamic religious schools down. If they want to learn about Islam, if they want to learn about the Muslim culture, go to Pakistan, go to Afghanistan, go to Saudi Arabia. But these people won't be allowed in Saudi Arabia. That's how extreme these people are. But they should go back to Pakistan or Afghanistan. Stay there. Literally stay there. Don't change this country. I did not come to the UK to experience Pakistani culture or the Muslim religion. I can do that in Saudi Arabia, or I could go to Pakistan. It's simple as that."
What separates someone like yourself who is a Muslim and the Pakistani Muslims who I don't know how I want to say this here. What separates you from the Pakistani Muslims who participate in these rape gangs?
Well, one is courage, and second, having the mindset of somebody that you have to think about others other than your own religion. If I look at you, Don, and I said, "Oh, Don is a white guy, he's not a Muslim, I'm going to treat him lesser than me because I think my religion is better," because that's exactly what these Muslims do. If you go to Piccadilly Circus in London, the first thing, as soon as you come out of the tube station, the first thing you see are Muslim people dressed up in their thobes, with their long beard, with their kufi on it, and they'll be like, "Oh, are you a Christian?" And we say, "Yeah, I'm a Christian." Oh, they'll be like, "Oh, guess what? Your religion is wrong. Because, Jesus is this and that, you believe that." But if you turn around and say, no, I think my Christianity is right, your Islam is wrong, what they're teaching you is wrong. And then you become a racist. You can't criticize. They can openly, fully criticize Christianity in a Christian country, yet you turn around and defend your own religion. Guess what, Don? You're going to prison for 2.5 years. because how dare you defend your Christianity? That's it.
Yeah, and I guess more specifically, what I'm asking is, what is it about the Pakistani Muslim community that causes them to participate in these rape gangs? What's different about the Pakistani Muslim community than other Muslim communities, or a Muslim like yourself, that causes this rampant,
It's mentality. They've been brainwashed since very young age. They've been told that if they're not Muslim, they're going to go to hell. If somebody is a Muslim, but they don't practice, guess what? They're going to go to hell. So if you pray 5 times a day, you think you're a good Muslim, you do anything, God will forgive you. But if you don't pray, oh my God, and guess what? It's brainwashing from a very young age, and it all starts from the religious schools. And as I said, I was very fortunate that I've got a lot of family members who are white. I got a lot of of friends who are white. My father, as I was growing up, when my father used to do business with people, all of them people were either Germans, they were from Italy, because my father's business was something that revolves all around the world. So what we have seen growing up, that we have seen a lot of white people inside our house. And when I see a white Christian or a white Jew or a Hindu, Indian Hindu talking to my father, and when we were growing up, all we've seen is a lot of love between them. So for us now, the same white people now that I'm 38, I call them my uncles. They're not even business partners anymore. We call them uncles. And the thing that you say, what separates me from them, the typical kind of Muslim, is that I living in Saudi Arabia, in a Muslim country, I had more white friends than I come and see people living in the UK, amongst the white people. They have not even a single white friend. So it shows their mentality, where they look at white people, they're like, oh, we can't be friends with them. Or they're not,
But what's causing them to rape all these girls, though? What is it specifically with the within the dogma or the belief system within specifically the Pakistani Muslim?
It's the culture. It's the culture. And it is the culture, because it is their belief system, like I said, that it has been set up. It is their culture. But unfortunately, Don, I haven't seen this much savage Pakistanis, not in Saudi Arabia, not anywhere else. It's the UK, because you can let them be crazy in the name of religion, in the name of culture. Or I'm sure you've heard it many times, when they rape the girls and they're like, oh, we did not know you can do that. Oh, we didn't know. We're not from here. We don't know. And they get away with it. They absolutely get away with it. And that is what it is, the culture, 100%.
Well, you correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it also the fact that in Pakistan, if they raped a girl there, they would be raping another Muslim, and that's haram, basically, right?
Haram, yeah.
They have in the UK, they have access to all the white girls, so it's not considered haram. Is that correct?
Yeah, the thing is, in UK, somehow they have made this belief that if you rape somebody who's not a Muslim, it's okay, but it's not okay. I'll tell you, in Pakistan as well, there is very recently a case in Islamabad, where at the capital city of Pakistan, a white girl, I think she was European, she got raped by somebody, and the police found out who it was. They hang him to death. She wasn't a Muslim, she was white. And they have
Pakistan?
In Pakistan, in Islamabad, the capital city. If you look it up, you'll probably find it. It's very recent it has happened.
Oh, wow.
So again, like I said, look, it depends from culture to culture. And another thing,
it's the woke culture in the UK. It's the woke politicians that are letting them get away with this. And
let them get away with it. In Pakistan, you can't get away with that.
Ideology,
yeah. In Pakistan, you can't get away with it, but it does happen. I know people talk about the girls being raped and everything, but there is another thing, that these same men will rape their own sisters, their own mothers, their own friends' daughters, and there is no end line for these people. And for these people, it's usually, in my opinion, that penalty. You cannot cure these guys. You cannot tell me, oh, we're going to put them in prison 40 years, they're going to come out a nice man. No. They're not coming out, and they shouldn't be in prison. I don't want to pay for them. Nobody want to pay for these criminals, from their taxpayer money, which we don't even get that much anyway. So why should we pay for them? And if they've got dual citizenship, send them back. We don't need them here. I don't. I'm a Pakistani. If I were to go to Dover today, where these guys arrive, and if I were there, I will drag these guys, put them in the boot of my car, and I will travel them to London, where the Pakistani embassy is, and I'm going to check them there, and they will deport them. But before they get to the Pakistani embassy, it's the British human rights law, which is not even British. It was a European law. I don't know why we still have it, but they claim asylum on the basis of, we think if they find out that I have raped a girl in the UK, they will hang me. And the British government is like, oh my God, we can't let that happen to you. Yeah, you can rape our kids. That's absolutely fine. but we can't get you in trouble. No way. So you're going to stay in a nice hotel. We're going to give you a nice meal. Leave our people, they can suffer, they deserve to suffer, but you guys should be, you should be fine. There are many Pakistanis that I know within power, within the government, who literally says that, you know what, if we had our way with these people, we will kill them on the spot. We won't give them a chance to claim anything. And they are begging. There is a treaty actually between the UK and Pakistan where they have said, if you have criminals, not only the rapists, criminals who are not abiding by the simple laws, like if they're thieving, they're harassing people, send them to Pakistani embassy, we'll deport them straight away. And they've missed out on that. Now you're seeing that the Pakistan somehow think they can hold a ransom on UK by saying, oh, if you want us to deport these criminals, you have to let us, let us bring our Pakistani International Airline to the Heathrow Airport, which is banned because they don't even have proper pilots. So, this is the state we're in. It's absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now.
What do you need in order to stay in the UK? What can anybody watching here, how can they help you? Is there somewhere they can go? And are you looking for a job? Folks out there maybe looking for someone with finance skills or business skills like yours. What can I do to help you to stay in the UK?
I think job will be good, but obviously I would like the Swansea Council to give me my job back, because even if not my job, they should give me a fair chance where I can apply for a job and I can get it if I'm capable of doing that job. Simple as that. And I think for that, I've spoken to some lawyers and I'm hoping to take them to court, because I've got voice recordings, I've got the emails that I'm sure you have seen it on the post. And for helping wise, obviously, this is a tough one for me, because when I did that post that I'm sure you have seen, a lot of other people have seen, where I said that I might be saying my goodbye, is because I can't afford to pay for my visa extension, which is almost around £5,000, including the lawyers and everything else. But I think I genuinely...
How long is the extension for? How long is the extension for?
It's 2.5 years, but because I have been continuously in the country since 2018, then I can get my ILR, and I'm hoping 2.5 years, long time for me to get a job, even if I have to leave my place where I live now.
2.5 years, you said?
2.5 years, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure, you can get a job.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Well, it seems to me that if the Swansea Council is firing people for speaking out against the grooming gangs, to me, that seems like they may be trying to cover it up themselves. You know what I mean? Seems like they have some culpability there. So if they hire you back, now that we've got this announcement by the Prime Minister, there's going to be a national inquiry into these grooming gangs. Maybe if the Swansea Council hires you back, they can show the folks in Wales and the folks in the UK that they do not bear responsibility, that they are not basically advocating for these grooming gangs. So it seems to me if they're firing people for speaking out against them, they're somewhat advocating for these girls to be raped in Great Britain. So right. I would probably give you your job back.
Yeah, you are probably right. Yeah, that's what it is. But like I said, for extension as well, the reason why I put out the post, because I know a lot of people, when somebody takes a step back from doing this activism, I'll call it, people say, oh, you're a coward, you're running away. So the reason why I put out the post, as well as all the proof, the email from the Swansea Council telling me that the reason why we're firing you, and again, another proof was my BRP, which is my residency permit in the UK. It shows that I'm not eligible for any public funds. That is fine. And there was another email, I don't know if you've seen that was to the Home Office. And that was done a couple of years ago, only because I've seen all these illegals were coming in, and I could see the strain that was coming on to the to the public funds, because obviously the asylum seekers and the illegals were getting paid.
Why are you not eligible for public funds when all these folks coming over on boats are getting them immediately as soon as they get?
Yeah, exactly. Because I work here. No, but that was my email.
Because you hang out with the wrong people. The people who don't want.
Yeah, and I support the wrong people. But that's the email.
Those scary white people.
Scary white people. The white boogeyman. Said, no, but that was the thing. My email actually stated to the Home Office, and I said to them, you can take this as a proof that I do not want your public benefits, because see, I never knew I would be in this position. So I told them I don't want the public funds, and I said to them, you can keep this email as a proof that I have said I'll sign it, and I did sign it. And I told them, you know what, I don't want your public benefits because I want to be an asset to the country. Or I can see you've got liabilities coming into the country. I don't want to be one of them. And second thing, a lot of people have said to me, why don't you claim asylum, which I can very easily can. But I never will, because I believe asylum is for women and children who are obviously running away. Only women and children. So I'm neither a woman nor a child. So I'm not going to do that. I would rather go out of here as a man rather than staying there and going against the thing that I've always preached. I like to practice what I preach, and I like to lead by an example. And if that means, you know, I have to say goodbye to this amazing place that I've called, you know, that I once called home. I've made everything here, and if I have to go, that's fine. I'll leave. But there has been some very kind people out there. One of them, my friend, is Claire. She have done a GoFundMe for me. And as I said, the people don't owe me anything. Like, I'm not expecting anything. I don't want anything. As I said, if I have to leave, I leave. I'm never going to claim asylum. It's either
going to go to the U.S.
Oh, you know what? I can think about it. I've got a lot of cousins, a lot of family in the US. They probably don't like me because they see me doing all this. But yeah, I can always try US, Canada. My sister is in Canada, so
we still have free speech in the U.S., man.
Yeah,
you're not going to get any business from the cops for social media posts.
Yeah, no, I will see my options, obviously. But thank you, Don. You know, obviously I'll see my options. But
you're definitely the kind of immigrant we like over here. You know what I mean? You're
a lot of people have said that, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful
for sure. We'd love to have you here. So
thank you.
Anything else you'd like to say before we go?
No, all I would say,
so folks can give you some help if you need it there in Swansea, in the Wells area.
Yeah, if they can help me, that is good. If not, like I said, I'm trying. I might have to move from Swansea. Obviously, I don't want to, but if I have to, obviously, then you know there is no option. But yeah, all I will say, thank you very much for everybody who've shown me so much love, so much kindness. I've got nothing but gratitude for the UK, for the white people. You know, I'm the only one celebrating the White History Month in June. You know, I'm gonna stop by the
white people can't even wear that shirt, which is what
you won't believe it. You won't believe it, Don. A lot of people are wearing it, and you will probably see it very soon when I'm gonna do the collage of people wearing it. But yeah, like I said, look.
Send me the link. I'll get that shirt. I'll put it on the post.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think the white guilt needs to die. Like, I don't think, as an immigrant, I don't think white people owe me or anybody anything. If anything, I would say something that my grandfather said to me yesterday when I was called, because my grandfather's in Pakistan and I talked to him and I love him. I'm a very family oriented guy. So I talked to my father, talked to my mom, talked to my grandparents. So I was talking to my grandfather yesterday, and he said to me that you got so many all these white folks that I see you take pictures with, and you know you talk to them. Can you not ask some of them to get together and come back to Pakistan and enslave us so we can have a better future? As I can ask them, I don't know if they'll go, but I can ask them.
Colonize Pakistan.
Yeah, that's what he keeps saying. He said to me, we are destroyed. We need these guys to come back so they can, they can make Pakistan great again, because that's all the white people have done. They have made everything.
You make a good point. You know, if you look around the world, the West is really the global leaders. We're the most civilized countries. We're the wealthiest countries. To me, there's a bit of animosity there from the other countries, I think, because it just kind of goes back to the old, thou shalt not covet, one of the 10 commandments. People are always jealous of those at the top. And at this point in history, it just happens to be predominantly white Western countries. So I think the rest of the world looks at us with a bit of jealousy. So they use this whole woke equality and all these other things, all these other buzzwords that they use to demonize white people. Basically, I think that's what's going on. But those of us who are smart enough, I think we see through the BS. So I think you do as well, man. So yeah. I want to thank you for coming on today and sharing your story with us, man. It's great speaking with you. You're going to be there in September?
Yeah. Well, if I'm not, because my visa in August, if I'm not gone, then of course I'm going to be there 100%.
Well,
I was there outside Tommy's court as well. I think if you remember it or not, I don't know if you've seen the video. I was wearing my shirt, White History Month, and people were doing interviews with me outside Tommy's court case, and they were asking me.
Oh yeah, right. I do remember.
I'll be there. I'll definitely be there, no matter what.
Okay. Well, it's great talking with you, man. Thank you for coming on, and best of luck to you. I'm gonna do what I can with this post to get you some help. Okay.
Yes, man. Thank you very much, Don. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
And thank you all for watching. I'm Don Keith, and this has been The Real Beef.
The Real Beef.